Welcome to our culinary journey through Austria. You lot better be ready to eat because we're about to dive headfirst into a world of rich flavors, hearty dishes, and desserts that'll make you want to slap your mama. But in a good way, yeah? Today we're counting down the top 10 must-try foods in this beautiful country. From the crispy golden perfection of Wiener Schnitzel to the melt-in-your-mouth goodness of Apfelstrudel, we're exploring it all. We'll uncover the history behind these iconic dishes, delve into what makes them so damn delicious, and by the end of this video, you'll be booking your ticket to Vienna faster than I can yell, "Where's the lamb sauce?" So, buckle up, get your forks ready, and let's get this food party started. First up, we've got the heavyweight champion of Austrian cuisine, Wiener Schnitzel. This ain't your mama's chicken fried whatever. We're talking thinly pounded veal, breaded to perfection and fried till it's golden and crispy. You hear that crunch? That's the sound of pure culinary bliss. Now the history of this dish is a bit murky, with some claiming it originated in Italy. But frankly, I don't care. What matters is that Austria took this schnitzel and made it their own. Served traditionally with a squeeze of lemon and a side of potato salad, it's a dish that's both elegant and satisfying. But let me tell you, a proper Wiener Schnitzel is all about the details. The veal needs to be pounded thin, almost translucent, so it cooks quickly and evenly. The breading should be light and airy, not thick and doughy, and the frying, well, that's an art form in itself. The oil needs to be hot enough to create that gorgeous golden crust without overcooking the meat. And for God's sake, don't you dare overcook the veal. It should be tender, juicy, and cooked to a perfect pale pink. Get it right, and you'll be transported to a world of culinary ecstasy. Get it wrong and you'll be facing my wrath in the kitchen. You've been warned. Next up, we're diving headfirst into the warm, comforting embrace of Apfelstrudel. This classic Austrian pastry is a thing of beauty, with its flaky, buttery layers enveloping a sweet and tangy apple filling. The key to a perfect Apfelstrudel lies in the dough. It needs to be stretched so thin you can practically read a newspaper through it. That's right, you heard me. We're talking paper-thin, delicate layers that practically melt in your mouth. The filling is a symphony of flavors, with tart apples, sweet raisins, cinnamon, and a hint of rum. It's the kind of dessert that makes you want to curl up by the fire with a good book and forget about the outside world. But don't let the simplicity of the ingredients fool you. Making a proper Apfelstrudel is a labor of love. It takes time, patience, and a whole lot of skill to get those layers just right. But trust me, the end result is worth every bit of effort. One bite of this warm, comforting dessert, and you'll understand why it's been a beloved Austrian tradition for centuries. Listen up, you dessert lovers, because this next one's for you. Sachertorte, a chocolate cake so decadent, so rich, so utterly indulgent, it'll make you want to lick the screen. This legendary cake was created in Vienna back in 1832 by a young apprentice named Franz Sacher. Talk about making a name for yourself. This ain't your average Betty Crocker cake mix, folks. We're talking layers of dense, rich chocolate cake, sandwiched together with tart apricot jam and coated in a glossy chocolate icing. The combination of flavors is pure heaven, a symphony of bitter and sweet that'll have your taste buds singing. And don't even get me started on the texture. The cake is moist and tender, the apricot jam adds a burst of fruity sweetness, and the icing? Well, it's the perfect finishing touch. Traditionally served with a dollop of unsweetened whipped cream to cut through the richness, Sachertorte is the kind of dessert that'll make you close your eyes, lean back, and moan with pleasure. Alright, enough with the sweet stuff. Let's get back to some proper savory goodness, shall we? And what could be more proper than Tafelspitz, a dish so regal, so elegant, it was once the favorite of Emperor Franz Joseph I himself. Now, Tafelspitz is essentially boiled beef, but don't let that fool you into thinking it's bland or boring. We're talking about prime cuts of beef simmered slowly in a flavorful broth until it's melt-in-your-mouth tender. The broth itself is a masterpiece, infused with root vegetables, herbs, and spices. It's the kind of broth you could sip on its own, but trust me, you'll want to save room for the beef. Tafelspitz is typically served with a selection of traditional Austrian sides like creamy spinach, crispy roasted potatoes, and a tangy apple horseradish sauce that'll blow your bloody mind. It's a dish that's both comforting and sophisticated, the perfect meal to warm you up on a cold winter's day. Now, for all you breakfast lovers out there, let me introduce you to your new obsession, Kaiserschmarrn. Imagine a fluffy, shredded pancake, caramelized to golden perfection, and dusted with powdered sugar. This dish is like the love child of a pancake and a crepe, with a texture that's both light and airy, yet satisfyingly substantial. The name Kaiserschmarrn literally translates to Emperor's Mess, and legend has it that this dish was a favorite of Emperor Franz Joseph I. Apparently, the chef messed up the pancake one day, tearing it apart in frustration. But the emperor, being a man of discerning taste, loved it. And honestly, who can blame him? Kaiserschmarrn is typically served with a variety of toppings like fruit compote, vanilla sauce, or even just a simple dusting of powdered sugar. It's the kind of breakfast that'll make you want to get out of bed in the morning, and trust me, that's saying something. Alright, let's talk dumplings, baby. But not just any dumplings. We're talking about Knödel, the unsung heroes of Austrian cuisine. These little balls of doughy goodness might not be the most glamorous dish on the menu, but trust me, they're bloody delicious. Now, Knödel come in all shapes and sizes, from bread dumplings to potato dumplings to even sweet dumplings filled with fruit. They can be served as a side dish, a main course, or even a dessert. That's right, these versatile little buggers can do it all. One of my personal favorites is Specknödel, bread dumplings studded with savory bacon and served in a rich, flavorful broth. It's the kind of dish that sticks to your ribs and warms you up from the inside out. And for dessert, you gotta try the Germknödel, fluffy yeast dumplings filled with plum jam and topped with melted butter and poppy seeds. It's like a warm hug on a plate. Now I know what you're thinking. Goulash? Isn't that Hungarian? And you're right, it bloody is. But Austria and Hungary have a long and intertwined history, and goulash has become a beloved staple in both countries. But don't think for a minute that the Austrians haven't put their own unique spin on this classic dish. Austrian goulash is typically a bit thicker and richer than its Hungarian counterpart, with a deeper, more intense flavor. We're talking tender chunks of beef, slow cooked in a paprika-spiked gravy until it's fall-apart tender. It's the kind of dish that gets better with time, so don't be afraid to make a big batch and have leftovers for days. Serve it with a side of fluffy dumplings or creamy polenta to soak up all that delicious gravy, and you've got yourself a meal fit for a king. Alright, let's take a break from all the heavy stuff and talk about something a little lighter. Brettljause, the Austrian answer to the charcuterie board, is the perfect way to snack like a local. This rustic spread typically features a variety of cured meats, cheeses, spreads and breads, all artfully arranged on a wooden board. It's the perfect thing to share with friends over a glass of Austrian wine or beer. But don't think for a minute that Brettljause is just some fancy cheese and crackers. We're talking about high-quality, locally sourced ingredients that'll make your taste buds sing. Think thinly sliced speck, pungent mountain cheeses, tangy pickled vegetables, and crusty rye bread. It's the kind of snack that's both satisfying and sophisticated, perfect for a light lunch, a pre-dinner nibble, or even just a late-night treat. Now, this next one might sound a bit strange, but trust me on this one. Leberkäse, despite its name, contains neither liver nor cheese. I know, it's confusing. So, what is it then? Well, it's basically a meatloaf made with corned beef, pork, bacon, and spices all ground together and baked in a loaf pan until it's golden brown and delicious. Leberkäse is a popular snack food in Austria, often served in a crusty roll with mustard and pickles. It's the kind of food that's both comforting and satisfying, perfect for a quick lunch or a hearty snack. Don't be put off by its unusual name or appearance. Give Leberkäse a try, and you might just be surprised at how much you like it. And last but not least, we're finishing our culinary journey with a hidden gem, Powidltascherl. These little pockets of joy are a lesser-known Austrian dessert, but they're definitely worth seeking out. Powidltascherl are basically small, round dumplings made with potato dough and filled with a sweet and tangy plum jam. They're then boiled until they're cooked through and float to the surface, then tossed in melted butter and breadcrumbs toasted until golden brown. The combination of the soft, pillowy dumplings, the sweet and tart plum filling, and the crunchy, buttery breadcrumbs is pure heaven. It's the kind of dessert that'll make you want to lick the plate clean. So there you have it, folks. The top 10 must-try foods in Austria. From savory schnitzels to sweet strudels, hearty stews to delicate pastries, Austrian cuisine has something to offer everyone. Thanks for joining us on this delicious tour of Austrian cuisine. We've explored the classics, uncovered hidden gems, and hopefully inspired you to try some of these amazing dishes for yourself. Remember, food is more than just sustenance. It's a celebration of culture, history, and tradition. and Austrian cuisine is a testament to that. So, the next time you're feeling adventurous in the kitchen, why not give some of these dishes a try? You might just discover your new favorite meal. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more culinary adventures. Until next time, food lovers.